Hello there, lovely people. This is me, Ashley, here, sending my love to you from whatever reality I'm in today, to whatever reality you happen to be in. I'm really surprised to see um, that there's comments on here already. So I don't know how that's happened. I set it up earlier, but didn't do anything with it. I've only just gone live this moment. So anyway, lovely people, hello, and welcome to this video in which I'm going to be talking about um, people's sudden changes in personality, sudden awakenings, and some quite positive things that have been going on of late. Now, what I'm saying by that is that a friend of mine who has seen changes but doesn't really have anything to do with them. I was talking to her the other day and I was saying about how really weird, strange things are going on in the sky, and I was trying to show her a video about the sun setting below the clouds, being taken from a plane up above. Anyway, I wasn't actually showing her that at the time. I was just talking to her, and she said, out of the blue, she just said, "I've been thinking lately, I wonder if the moon's a hologram." And I went, "What?" Like, whoa, really? Really? And I'm like, yep, I'm totally with you there. And then we went on to discuss the fact that Venus isn't in the right place in the sky. And I said to her, well, in fact, I can't really remember how it came about, but we basically both admitted that we believe in a flat Earth now, and we were shocked. I said, I'm not sure whether she mentioned it first, but I'm sure I said that I know that I said that I believe in a flat Earth, and she said that she does. Anyway, she went on to say that, like, it just kind of came to her. You know, the fact that the moon could be a hologram just kind of came to her. The fact that she suddenly thought that the Earth was flat just kind of came to her. So, I'm like, whoa, this is not the girl that I knew a couple of weeks ago who was still laughing at flat earthers. I'm like gobsmacked by that. And the fact that she's actually questioning as to whether the moon's real. This is not the person that that I know. And she just said it just kind of came to her. Sudden realization. I find that fascinating. And I wish I could know more about how that happened. But she just said it came to her. So, and also her personality. She seems to have gone back to the person that I knew originally, my old friend, who I knew and love and originally knew, which she had a bit of a wobble and changed into different characteristics had appeared in her that I found very difficult to keep up with. Well, now she seems to be back to the person that I originally knew and loved. So it's all this last shift has been a huge one, a massive one. Um, physical ground changes, all that kind of stuff. And indeed, us, you know, it's been to have her say those things is just. That's not what I expected ever for her to say. So, it makes you think of all kinds of things, doesn't it? It's like, is there more of awakening? Was there more of an awakening this last shift? Many things have changed physically on the ground, but it is the changing people, and they seem a little bit more open-minded here. Not just my friend, other people seem a little bit more um, aware that the world is not what we're being told that it is, and are actually starting to question. So that makes me wonder about how many other people out there are having these thoughts just come into their head, this questioning out of nowhere. Because she just said it came to her, just came to her that maybe the moon's a hologram. And I'm like, whoa. Richard, hi, sweetie. Hi, 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 hi. Hi. Yeah, I definitely think that we are still in the middle of a shift, a big one, a very big one. And, where, again, I mean, I do worry about where it's leading. I can't lie to you. I mean, I still worry about that. And that's why I want Miss Amy on, because I want to talk with her about this Bosra situation that I also, again, I saw a 2020 version of the Hopi prophecy, and those of you who have followed my journey will know that it's through the Hopi prophecy that many of my questions were answered from their actual changes. They describe changes in actual reality up to the the coming back of Jesus. So I watched an up-to-date version of it today from 4 months ago, and it says in it that yet again, it said in it about the fact that during end times we're moved to the fifth world, and this person, this savior Jesus, comes to lead us away to the new and fifth world. Now, as we're Mandela affected, we know perfectly well that that's not a metaphor, it's a reality. It's not a metaphor, a different age. It literally is a different world. I mean, and we're trying to actually live, as Richard there's saying, we may have fighting in the streets here, even a small hometown being affected by it. Positive or negative, what times these are, I agree wholeheartedly, Richard, what times these are. It's scary. We're living through, you know, Mandela effect changes, but we're also living through the consequences of those evil, twisted manipulators that rule the earth, and the connection between the two, which is why, again, I'm talking about Bosra, because in the Hopi prophecy, and why I want to know more about Bosra is because it talks about people being led to the new world away from the danger that's coming to the world. Now, as we know, we are physically moving into the fifth world, the next world. We can see it changing. My country has lost the top of Scotland off it now. Germany now isn't landlocked anymore. South America's all the way over here somewhere. North, I mean, it's just there are so many geographical changes. Australia is so near to Papua New Guinea. It's a wonder that any of those marvelous creatures, those wonderful marsupials that don't exist anywhere else on the planet, how they managed to actually develop there is beyond me, because the next land's very close now. But it makes me question, are we already being led to the new world, away from the danger, even though it looks, every time I look out of my window, the world seems to be getting worse and worse and worse every day as far as I can see. But we are being led into a new world. We can see it changing on a regular basis. So that's geographically on the ground. We can see that we're moving. So are we the affected? Are we being moved already in safety? Is that what Bosra is? That we don't physically have to see Jesus himself, but that maybe we are just our consciousness. Obviously, our consciousness is being moved from place to place, but then it gets frustrating because we look pretty much the same in whatever reality that we're in, even though I have a chest infection in some realities and I don't have it in others. At the moment, I haven't got it. Whereas for about 4 or 5 months, I had a terrible chest infection that just was not going away. And then one morning I woke up without it. So it's that's a positive thing. My friends and family members are becoming a lot more positive. But to actually have the thought just pop into my friend's head that maybe the moon is a hologram is just freaky beyond belief. No, I'm with you. I don't want to be. I feel like an observer here as well, but then sometimes I wonder whether we're actually supposed to be observers or whether we're supposed to be trying to affect this reality. They're not, when I say reality like that, I don't mean that. You see, wherever we shift and whenever we move into something that looks very, very similar to where we've just come from. Even ourselves look very, very similar. We that are affected do see changes in our own bodies, but the history seems to be going the same way at the moment. We seem to be, no matter what reality we're in, we seem to be going down the same path of destruction. Every world that we're on, every reality that we're in, we have the same politics going on. We're all living with this stupid bloody virus of the crown, malarkey, nonsense, bollocks. And we're trying to live with that in amongst a changing reality. But that flows through with us, as does Brexit, as does all the mundane politics about left and right and blah, 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 blah. That's all the same. It's getting worse, don't get me wrong, it's all getting worse. The possible, hey, hello. So, yeah, I do see some positive things, but quite frankly, I can't get my head around the fact that we're still travelling through the same experiences, the same things that are happening in the physical world, politics, this virus, shite, all of that. It's the same whenever we move. That's the same. All those things are the same. I mean, we do have things pop up, obviously willy-nilly, to pop up into our realities that are different to us. I'm really glad. I'm so glad that you caught me. The possible. I'm so glad you caught me. That's great. Honestly, it's really difficult with the time differences of everybody. Yeah, where is here? Where is the fighting? Included artists. There's quite a bit of it at the minute. It's like this. We don't know what's going to happen next. Trying to live in a forever changing reality but whilst trying to also exist within a physical realm. I'm trying to find the connection between the two here. Hello, dearest Dawn. I'm glad you got me. Glad you got me. Rainbow Supernatural Paranormal. Hi from England to Canada. Mwah, mwah. I also want to say that there was also a German person came on one of my videos, and they was telling me that their reality is changing a lot. They're seeing differences on TV programs as well as brands and things like that are changing. So you see, because we're in the English speaking Mandela effect community, we don't really get to see what it's like in other countries. So that's another thing that I was thinking. Anybody out there that's Mandela affected, if you speak another language, please go on, change your YouTube language, even if it's only for a day, and go on and find out what people are actually saying about the Mandela effect in the countries of the language that you can speak. And then share it, please, because that's the only way we're going to actually really understand how far it's going. How many people and where, in what could, I mean, obviously I'm going to say global. I don't mean that. It's a worldwide phenomenon. It's it's whatever the world is. I mean, my friend and I'm sorry, I know I'm a bit up and down and all over the place, but it's a kind of, when you have people changing their mind about things willy-nilly out the blue, you try and keep up with those things. And then when I was showing my friend I actually showed her the video of the sun underneath the clouds from somebody that was filming it, and they were talking, and the person that was narrating was saying, well, that's probably because of the curve. But when you looked forward, it was a flat line, and it was not on the edge. It was in front of the horizon. Now, the sun should never, ever, ever be in front of the horizon. And when you're talking about a curve, why are we seeing a flat line in the distance past that actual? I mean, I'm sure some of you have. Yeah, they are as well, Dawn. Songs are changing a lot. It's some I find it abhorrent, I do. I find it abhorrent. I can't bear to see. I went back to spend time with my family, and they are underneath the Manchester Airport flight path, some miles away from Manchester Airport, but they are. And yes, Dawn, the moon is acting wacky too. You're quite right. But seeing the planes come over with the engine so far forward, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate. I can't pretend that I'm calm. I hate the Mandela effect. So far, I'm trying to find the positives, and I'm trying to link the reality changes with what we're experiencing in the physical. And yeah, definitely in the wrong body, completely and utterly in the wrong body. Rainbow, supernatural, paranormal, absolutely. And I can't. I mean, don't get me. I look similar enough, but like I said just a moment ago, I have in some realities, I have a really, 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 really bad chest infection where I can't lie down without all crackling and all kinds of awful wheezing going on. There's not a bar of it that at the moment, and it literally disappeared overnight. So yeah, that and the fact that my face changed, my fallopian tubes are up, down, up, down. You know, not that they matter anymore. My fallopian tubes are well past the sell-by date. So it's like, I know this isn't my birth body. This is none of us that are affected are in our birth bodies. None of us are. It's changing all the time. I actually made a video about how sometimes I found that I wake up some mornings and I look about 15 years older than I did the day before. And it's not just a bad day. It's like I literally look 15 years older, or then it'll go back again and I'll look 5 years younger than my actual age, which is 55. So, yeah, Dawn, I'm short and I really do. I feel tall on the inside. I've never actually felt taller, but yeah, I've always said I'm much bigger on the inside, a bit like the TARDIS. TARDIS there, yeah. So, yeah, you guys, I mean, have you noticed people coming out with sudden realizations, sudden awakenings that you didn't expect? Because believe me, I think it was last week I could hear my friend talking about flat Earth and she was still laughing about it. And then yesterday she said that she thinks the Earth's flat. So what's going on there then? Do you know what I mean? What? Oh, it's just after the return of another lifetime, like 1,000 years from now. I don't want to be stuck in no transhuman body. I don't. I'm not sure we're actually going to be stuck in a body at all. I don't know. I don't know. You see, the reason why I'm saying that is because we now know that we are definitely not our bodies. I always knew that anyway. I always felt that the body was just a vehicle to carry us around, us being whatever that is that makes me me, whatever that is, that spark that makes you you, no matter what body that we're in, no matter what reality that we're in, that spark stays the same. So that spark isn't a body. It's not a body. It's given a body to experience a human experience, but then we're now experiencing something way beyond a human experience. So that blows that out of the water. And this is something that happens to me all the time. I get flashes of kind of, ooh, inspiration. Could it be that? Could this be? And then within seconds, I've talked my way out of it myself because trying to make sense of the senseless, trying to, yeah, the God spark is the spirit. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm thinking. Oh, Lisa started. Oh, that's another thing. I had a Mandela moment the other day where a different me had a different word. I know, right, let me explain. When I first came to live where I'm living now, this is not my hometown, my friend was talking about snickets. And I was laughing because it's a cute word. I'm like, what's a snicket? And she said, and I said, no, that's a ginnel. That's a ginnel. That's not a snicket. And she laughed at my calling it a ginnel. Anyway, yesterday we were talking some actually outside somebody has the next door's landlord has stolen part of my garden over the weekend. another story. But they were talking underneath, between my house and the next house is a tunnel that goes from one side of the road to the other. It's like back-to-back housing. And I said they were under the Gennell talking. And I called it a Gennell. And my friend's fella said, what the fuck's a Gennell? And I said, well, it's that. Hazel Fiver. Hazel Fiver. I was just saying, Hazel, how repulsed I am by seeing the planes with the engine so far forward. I've just been in Cheshire, in my hometown, with my daughter, and she lives under the flight path, the Manchester Airport flight path. No, about 22 miles away from it, but it's still under the flight path, and I was able to quite clearly see aeroplanes with those stupid bloody engines sticking out the front, defying gravity. Oh, it repulses me. It absolutely repulses me. So, Richard, you're sorry. I'm sorry. I've lost my thread of what I was saying. But Richard, you're saying there that you've got skeleton pictures from past 5 to 6 years. Mine change. I can't keep hold of them. I had loads, but they just update themselves to the whichever reality I'm in at the present time. So how have you done that? You know, they don't, David. They don't. Those planes look like, what the hell is that? They're unbelievable. They're unbelievable, and I hate them. I absolutely hate them. I hate seeing them. It disgusts me. It's too much for me. I can't cope with it. I don't like. I mean, the changes in like logos and things like that, I kind of got used to. It still irks me when I see like Febreze, or I see turmeric, or any of those things. But please, Richard, yes, if you can put a video together of all of those changes, that would be awesome. Please do that, because I'm not able to keep mine. I can't. I have taken loads, so many screenshots of the changes, and they all just change into the particular reality that I'm in at any particular time, and it does my head in. It totally does my head in. So I'm not able to keep track of things like that anymore. Actually, I tried to write things down, but they kind of bleached away. The words bleached away. I mean, whoa, so you can't. Yeah, please do that. Please do that, Richard. Please put a video together, and I'd like to see that, because I can't do it, because mine are all the same now. Although quite clearly, I mean, they're not. the skull's getting more and more ridiculous. It's like, you know. So the changes are what? So the Volkswagen sticker yesterday changed again. Oh, I just. You see, yeah, you said, David, you were saying that you nearly broke down, and I know exactly how you feel. And that's really hard, especially when, see, at the moment, it's not so bad. I'm not with my family. I'm on my own, well, relatively on my own, which means that I can cope. I can cope, you know, yeah. Nope, Lisa, never heard of a Star Bar. Nope, never heard of a Cadbury Star Bar. I'm in the UK, as you can tell, and I'm 55. No, that's a new one. Never heard of that, Lisa. No, never heard of that. And no, it's seeing the changes. I'm with you, David. I mean, things for me was like, it's watching the Jungle Book, watching Baloo burst out singing "I'm the King of the Swingers" without his coconut bra on. Oh no, no, I can't cope with it. I can't cope with that sort of thing at all. And I watched Snow White, that was so not Snow White. The Wizard of Oz I watched, with the scarecrow with his gun, and the lion with his mallet in his net, and the bloody tin man with a wrench, and I just, that's my childhood. It's my anchor memories. It's part of who I am. Planes with their engines underneath. That's my memory. It's part of who I am. I haven't misremembered that. I haven't forgotten that there was a Cadbury Star bar. There wasn't. There wasn't. And sometimes I find it, sometimes I seem to sail through it. Sometimes it's just, yeah, it's the Mandela effect. Reality's changing. Yeah. And other times I'm just completely lost and crying for the loss of, we're not what we thought we were. The world isn't what we thought it was. Nothing is. By the way, if any of you would like to pop on, you're perfectly welcome. I'll put a link in the bottom if you'd like to join me and have a chat. I'd really appreciate that. I don't want to be talking here on my own. That's not the point. So if you'd like to pop on and have a chat with me, I'd be only too glad to have you on, because this isn't about me waffling on. This is about conversation between us all. So if you'd like to pop on, let me know, and I will. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody just said something. Alien sleuth. In my reality, the population of China was much greater. What is it now to you, please? Let me know what it is to you now, and I'll have a look and see what it is to me now. Hazel fibre, I know they are so strange now. I don't like looking at them. I don't like it because it's a massive in your face that this is not my world, and trying. All these years later, I still haven't really come to terms with it. I mean, have you guys? Can you actually say you've come to terms with it? Because I really can't. Hugs to you also, Lisa. Yeah. No, nothing does compare to the Bible changes. I'm totally with you, David. But yeah, the Jungle Book has changed. Baloo isn't wearing his coconut bra anymore. Oh, no. And yeah, included artists. It's true there is a veil over people's eyes, but people are actually starting to see. Like my friend. What's that? There's a 24 hours revival for Jesus going on in the Mandela effect. Can you please, Bubbles, can you please let me know what that is? Because I need to be there, not here talking. Please let me know. Slightly more than a billion for you, Alien Sleuth. Well, for me, it was only a billion in the first place. So how many was it for you originally? And yeah, Bible changes are the ones that, I mean, I've done many videos about how I feel about Bible changes, the things, you know, and the Bible iconography, things like the creation of Adam in the Sistine Chapel now shows God on a par with Adam with his finger like that instead of God up from below, pointing down. God is now in a red brain. We've got unicorns. Oh, Carl, the Red Pills channel right now. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to go because I need to be there. I need to be there. But keep your eye out because I will be doing more lives, probably later on, actually. I'll probably come back on later on, but I think we will. I don't know how to give wrenches. I'm not using this on. I'm not using this on YouTube. It's a StreamYard one. So let me have a look. See what it shows me. Oh, it just says put user in timeout or block user bubbles. I'm not sure how to do that. I mean, I can now. I can actually. Stream live from live from YouTube now, because thank you guys, all of you out there that have subbed to me. I really, 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 really. What? Alien Sleuth? Really? Where did you come from? Where did you come from originally? You were Sagittarius arm. Twice that. You had 2 billion people in China. Whoa. No, I know they can't include artists. No, a lot of church leaders don't see anything. Although there has been a church, a pastor who was a flat earther, who on a live contradicted his own Bible because it said bottles instead of wineskins. And yet I reached out to that pastor, and he still said it's a hoax. And I said, what? Even though your own Bible, you corrected your own Bible? It was like, really, whoa. Yeah, I can't believe that. Oh, David, David, are you going? Okay, bye. I needed to know more of what you had to say. Oh, and for you, Richard, population over 2 billion. Not for me. It was always a billion for me. I mean, like, I'm an Orion original, but this is not my original Orion, without a doubt. I'm not even in the same place in the. Yeah, are you in the UK? Dean Ogle, yeah, David, you're right, exactly. Well, I reached out to Pastor Ogle, Ogle, whatever he's called, and he just still told me it was a hoax. And when I said, well, what about your own, you actually, because he corrected his own Bible. And even after that, you see, I thought that poor man he must have his head right up his arse, because he was actually making videos debunking the Mandela effect as the cult of quantum, when it's not the cult of quantum at all. And then I felt bad for him, and I reached out to him because I thought, of all the people, of all the people to have their head fried, that his must be going because you know what it did to all of us guys, and we weren't out there trying to disrespect anybody or poo-poo anything, and he's actually made Mandela effect debunking videos, and then suddenly he's correcting his own Bible live on air. So my heart just went out to him. I thought, that poor man, he must be even worse than we were. Oh, Alien Sleuth, your wife's affected with you. That's a wonderful thing. I'm so pleased. I'm so glad of that. I really am. I so am. My grandson recently turned 13 and he's Mandela affected now. He didn't used to be, but he is now. So maybe it's a puberty thing. Maybe puberty actually got him to see. And it did. He did get to see. But yeah, the Pastor Odell, I felt really sorry for him, and yet he's still denying it. So I said there was a loving family out here waiting to embrace him, and he's still, as far as I'm aware, denying it. I know. How can you correct your own Bible and not and not stop and think, it's happening to me now? How can you as a person still deny that when clearly you're now seeing it? You've got to be seeing it for a reason, especially if you're a pastor that has been preaching against something, to actually have that something proved live on air, correcting his own 40-year-old Bible, is beyond me. Unless he is of the, those that get the upload. So many of our friends and family get the upload where they just accept the new version. We've seen that happen. I think pretty much all of us have seen that happen. Again, I'm going to ask, does anybody want to come on with me? You don't have to be with your face. You can do it without your face, just your voice. Would you like to come on and discuss? And no, and I'm with you there, David. I think most of us are like that. There are very, very few of us who have family members and friends who see it. Although I do have a couple of friends that see it, but I don't live near them. And my grandson, he does now. My friends here, they see it, but they're not affected by it. And that's another thing. We're affected by it, whereas people see it, accept it, but aren't affected by it. And that is something that's always blown my mind, really. So yeah, David, you've already told me things straight away there. I didn't know that in your reality, China had 2 billion people. But from what I can tell, I've looked at the sky all my life. I lived overlooking a valley, looking towards the west, directly towards the sun, going down for 25 years at the top of a valley, overlooking nothing but a magnificent view of forever. And the sky itself is much, much smaller, much smaller than it used to be. You can see that yourself. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. And this is why we can only talk to each other like this. And that's why I need it so much. I was dreading being with my family, because after the lockdown and being on my own, literally for months. I was able to travel and see my family for the first time in like 6 months. And I was dreading going because it's, living amongst the unaffected is not easy. And I know most of you actually do that, and it's not easy. And it happened to be my granddaughter's 3rd birthday that I actually lost the plot because I couldn't keep up anymore. Sometimes I don't know whether to speak or not to speak because I might be saying something about a conversation that I've had with somebody. They can't remember the conversation, so I end up talking about something that they apparently have never said, but they did say it, and it's like I can't cope with that. And then I can't cope with seeing actual changes in front of them. Like the weather comes on and there's my own country with the top of it off. Now, when I discussed that with my grandson, he said that he comes from the reality where the top of Scotland's always been off, and I am freaked out by that. So we already know that we don't come from the same reality. And I said, yeah, but trying to placate him and make him feel more at ease about it. I said, well, I'm still me, you still you. We're not being hurt by it, so it doesn't matter that last week I was in a reality where the top of Scotland was still on and you weren't. But and another thing about the sky as well is that we're seeing lights where we shouldn't be seeing them. For instance, back in my reality, my old reality, the sun set in the west, and in the west you could see red and pinks and oranges, not purples and greens. And on the other side, on the east, when the sun was going down, the east was like getting dark. It wasn't lit up with pink like now. The sun, when it goes down in the west, manages to light up the east of the country, the sky, and that's like, yeah. Oh, right, yeah, do David. You're just saying that Billy Graham died 3 times. I know that he's died a couple of times. Your mother passed away in 15. I watched his funeral and my mama cried. So you can imagine how I felt it in 18 when I saw it. Oh, David, I'm hugging you, honey. That's a message with your mama who died. And, well, my mum died 10.5 years ago, and it still affects me to every day. So that must have been even worse for you. That's awful. The ringing ad, what's that? I don't understand what that is. Oh, I know it's... Hello, Lava Girl. Hello. You have a video... I don't know what you're talking about there, dearest Dawn. Sorry, love. Okay, Richard, but if at any point you want to pop on and have a chat, please do. Anybody out there, if you want to pop on and with me so we can chat in real time, I can get your opinions, you know what I mean? That's what I do these lives for, really. It's not so that I'm just... Yeah. Oh, did you? Sorry, Lisa. Yeah, I get it all the time. I'm having it all the time. This ear especially. Yeah. Have you, dearest Dawn? Brilliant. I need to see that, definitely. But it's true. There never used to be. The east was getting darker. When the sun came down, the east was getting darker. Now it's lit up with pink. And yeah, I know I'm not the only one seeing it. I'm glad I'm not the only one seeing it. But sometimes I mention it to people and it just goes over their head like it's nothing. You know. And then there's people like my husband who he can see changes, and he told me to talk to my grandson about it. But he says there's nothing he can do about it. So he refuses to acknowledge it, engage with it, let me talk about it. I mean, I told him a few weeks ago that that Ryland was affected and that I had a chat. See, the thing, colours from the moon, dearest Dawn, you're absolutely right, because a few months ago, my friend and we saw the moon coming up and it was blood red. I mean, blood red. Red. Not pinkish, red. And I went on to NASA's now, don't get me wrong, don't believe a word that NASA says, but to the main general population, NASA's like the be all and end all. So I went on to see what NASA said about blood moons, and NASA said it doesn't actually go red at all. It doesn't even go pink. It goes creamish, is what they said, and it is gorgeous, and it is scary, and it is from Planet 9. I think you're exactly right, dearest Dawn. I think it's Nibiru coming, Wormwood, whatever you want to call it. It's here. It's here already. And I think that's what it is. And in that case, do you think that that's what might be happening when we're seeing the pink in the east as the sun's going down? Do you think that might be what's happening? Are we picking up Nibiru? Are we picking up the colours from Nibiru there? Because there's no real reason or explanation as to why the east should be going pink when the sun goes down in the west. None at all. So, yeah. And it is gorgeous and it is scary. I mean, I've dreamt about these things all my life since being a very, very, very small child. I used to, when I was, a toddler, I wouldn't go to bed or go to sleep without saying good night to the moon first. And in my dreams, what I thought was the moon was getting closer and closer and closer and closer. But what I have noticed is by looking at Nibiru Planet X channels, that what I was seeing in my dream is what I am now seeing in their channel, in their videos. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But obviously at the moment we know it's being cloaked. We know it's being cloaked. So maybe it was the cloaking that stopped it being red to me anyway. That stopped it being red. Anyway, I'm gorgeous, gorgeous people. I'm going to bring it to an end for now because I want to go and have a look at Carla Red Pill's channel and see what's going on there with the Jesus scenario. I'm not really sure, but I will be back on later, probably in a couple of hours time. Here for me it's 1804, so if we 1805 now, so if we give it 22 hours time, if we give it 2 hours time, I'll see if I can come back then and we'll continue this chat about many weird and strange things. So thank you for joining me. I really, really appreciate you guys. I do wish that you'd come on and actually chat. That'd be really good. Don't be shy next time, please. Just come on and have a chat with me. Like I said, oh no, Joel, now I can't leave. I can't leave now. You found me. I can't. I guess I was going to I was just about to leave and go to Carla Red Pill's channel because she's got some important stuff going on over there. I think in another couple of hours, I think, Lisa Red Star. Are you okay with that, Joel? Is that okay with you? Can you come in another couple of hours? Like it's 1806 now, so if we make it 2006, 2 hours time, can you do that, Joel? Can you make us then? Because I know you find it really, really difficult being in Australia and 15 hours in the future to me. So, and I'd to get you on anyway because I like having you on chatting. You always make the conversation flow wonderfully. Another Rick. Yep, or give me in 2 hours. That's fantastic. Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm so sorry. You're literally just watching me leave. But a couple of hours time, if you'd like to join us, I'm off to Carl Red Pill's channel now to see what's going on there. Until a couple of hours time, everybody, I love you all.